Do you know what's truly terrifying? Some people will work their entire lives and still end up with nothing to show for it. Not because they didn't work hard, not because fate was cruel, but because of three silent habits that quietly destroy their future. Every morning, millions of people wake up early, rush through traffic, grind for hours, come home exhausted, and collapse into bed, only to repeat the same cycle tomorrow. Years go by, yet their savings don't grow. Their dreams stay stuck in someday. You ask them about investments, and they shrug. About freedom, and they laugh bitterly. They work hard, yet remain broke. Why? Because effort without direction is just motion, and motion without growth is a treadmill. Let me tell you something real. I once met a man who said, if I just had more money, my life would change. But the truth is, even if you gave him more, he'd lose it, because wealth doesn't fix bad habits, it only magnifies them. Poor habits can drain a fortune faster than bad luck ever could. That's why so many lottery winners go broke. That's why people who inherit wealth often end up back where they started. Money without new habits is like water in your hand. It slips away. The first habit that keeps people poor forever is survival spending. You've seen it. Salary comes in, and before the weekend ends, it's gone. Rent, groceries, bills, the few small luxuries, maybe a night out, maybe a gadget they didn't need. Then they say, I just don't have enough to save. But the truth is, they're not planting seeds, they're eating them. I've been there. I thought more income would solve everything, but every time I earned more, I spent more. I wasn't building a future, I was maintaining a lifestyle, working harder but never getting ahead. Imagine this, two people earn the same amount. One spends to survive, the other learns to invest, saves a little, and keeps improving his skills. Fast forward 10 years, the first is stuck in the same job, the second owns his own business. The difference isn't luck, it's habits. So let me ask you, are you surviving or are you growing? Are you eating your seed or planting it? Because here's the truth, the world doesn't reward those who survive, it rewards those who build. In the next part, I'll reveal the second hidden habit that quietly steals your money, your time, and your freedom without you even noticing. Stay with me, because this one affects almost everyone.
But there are other traps too. One of them is fear. Poor people fear risk more than failure. They'll say, I can't start a business, it's risky. I can't invest, I might lose money. So they leave their savings in accounts that barely grow, while inflation quietly eats their value. Doing nothing feels safe, but it's the biggest risk of all. Remember Jeff Bezos? He left a comfortable job on Wall Street to start Amazon in a garage. People called him insane. But he understood something most never do. Comfort kills dreams. Playing safe might protect you today, but it destroys your tomorrow. Then there's the trap of procrastination, the one-day mindset. One day I'll save, one day I'll invest, but that one day never arrives. The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is now. And finally, your environment. Your friends shape your future. If you spend time with people who gossip, complain, and waste time, you'll mirror them. But surround yourself with doers, people who talk about growth, ideas, and opportunities, and you'll rise with them. But even after escaping these money traps, there's still one deadly habit left, the one that kills more dreams than poverty itself. In the next part, we'll uncover it. The habit of blaming and complaining that secretly steals your power. Don't miss this. Let me share the third and perhaps most dangerous habit that keeps people broke forever. It's not laziness. It's not lack of opportunity. It's blaming and complaining. You see, blaming feels comforting. It lets you believe your failures aren't your fault. But comfort never builds anything. Every time you point fingers, you hand over your power. I'd be rich if my boss paid me more. I'd be successful if my parents were wealthier. I'd be happy if the government did its job. Sound familiar? These statements might feel true, but they're poison. Because while you're blaming, you're not building. While you're complaining, someone else is acting. I once met a young man who told me, "I can't succeed because my father left me nothing." I looked him in the eye and said, "That's exactly why you must succeed, so your children never say the same about you." Every generation has two options: pass down excuses or pass down opportunities. Poor people pass down excuses. Rich people pass down opportunities. And then there's the cousin of blaming, complaining. Complaining tricks your brain into thinking you're doing something when you're actually doing nothing. You can complain for hours about your job, your boss, your country, but it changes nothing. Let me tell you a story. Two shopkeepers owned stores on the same quiet street. One spent his days complaining that business was slow. He said, "No one cares. The government should fix this." He waited for things to change. The other shopkeeper said, "If customers won't come to me, I'll go to them." He started delivering goods door to door, built trust, and grew his business. A few years later, the complainer was still sitting in his empty shop. The doer, he owned a supermarket. Same street, same challenge, different mindset. Here's the truth. Complaining is a luxury for those who don't want to win. When you stop saying, "It's not my fault," and start saying, "It's my responsibility," your entire life shifts. Because the moment you take ownership, you take control. No government, no boss, no parent can shape your future as much as your decisions can. So ask yourself, are you blaming or are you building? Are you waiting for someone to save you or are you saving yourself?
In the final part, I'll show you how to break these chains, how to replace poverty habits with wealth habits that transform your mindset, your money, and your life. Because freedom isn't luck, it's built. Stay tuned. Let me leave you with one final truth. Poverty is not just a lack of money, it's a state of mind. Two people can start from the same place, have the same education, even earn the same salary, yet one will rise while the other will stay stuck. Why? Because one changes his habits and the other repeats them. You were not born to stay poor. You may be born with nothing, but you are not meant to die with nothing. If you end life where you started, it's not fate, it's because you never changed what you do every day. That may sound harsh, but life is not gentle with excuses. The world does not reward those who wait, it rewards those who act. You see, success isn't built in one day, it's built daily. Every small decision, what you read, what you spend, what you say yes to, shapes the person you become. If you spend money to look rich, you'll stay broke. If you spend time complaining, you'll stay stuck. But if you invest in yourself, in your skills, your discipline, your mindset, you'll start to see growth everywhere. 10 years from now, you'll regret two things: the chances you didn't take and the habits you didn't change. There's a quote I'll never forget. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. When you're young, wasting an hour seems harmless. Spending a little extra feels fine. Complaining feels normal. But over time, those small actions become invisible chains that keep you trapped. Then one day, you wake up and realize years have passed and nothing's changed. But here's the hope. You can break those chains today. You can choose new habits. You can decide to stop following the crowd and start following growth. You can decide that poverty ends with you. Every millionaire, every success story you've ever admired, they all started as ordinary people. Unknown, struggling, doubted. The only difference? They made a decision to change their habits. So ask yourself, will you keep living by habits that keep you broke, or will you start building the ones that set you free? Your habits are writing your future. Change your habits, and you'll change your life. Thank you for listening, my friends. If this message touched you, don't just scroll, share it. Someone out there needs to hear it too. Because tomorrow belongs to the people who take control today. Which side of that future will you be on?